Hey, it's Mia.
Hey, it's Kennedy.
Hey, it's Matthew.
And this is The Silver Lining with M and K.
How are you guys doing today?
How is everyone? How do you feel?
I hope your day is going good. Is your day going good?
Yeah. So far, yeah. How's your day been, Matthew?
Pretty good. I had a workout today, so that went well. That's all I did.
Okay, so as you can tell, we do have someone else on the podcast today. It's not just me and Mia.
We have a bit of a guest.
We have
some may say.
Well, sometimes we do charity work, so this is
one of those charity work episodes. We're actually just getting community hours for this.
Where's my yes hours?
Literally.
Okay, so introducing Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew is 6'4".
6'5" with shoes on.
I had to get that in. He
I play basketball,
okay.
and I have a nice smile, and I'm not looking for love though.
What? He's like advertising himself.
This is not an audition.
It's not.
This is not The Bachelorette.
It's not. The Valentine's Day episode actually already passed.
Yes.
So
Sorry, you couldn't get on that.
Then tune in.
good.
Thank you.
We did
Okay.
not pay him to say that, by the way. That was not like sponsored.
Not paid
anything.
advertisement.
Absolutely
Like,
not.
that
Like he feels that way, guys.
That was a plug.
Trust.
So
Okay.
thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having
We're
me.
excited to get into our topic today, which is Christianity. All things Christianity, but we're going to be talking about our experiences a little bit. We've been mentioning it a little bit more on earlier episodes, just like integrating it into things that we say maybe, but this week is going to be specifically on that.
Which I'm so excited about, by the way.
I am too.
Because I feel like Christianity, it's been in everything. Every single thing we've talked about, we have somehow
mentioned it
brought it back
Yeah.
to faith and religion. And
because that's who we are.
it's just who we are. It's your center of everything.
Yeah.
It should be your center of everything.
If it's not, you got to fix that.
If you believe. Now, if you're a non-believer and you're listening to this, I still would encourage you to listen because maybe you can still find something out of this. And
I think you can. I think that there will be something at least
there
one
will be
time.
at
even
least
if
one
you're not,
thing.
even if you are religious in another religion, there can be something for you to take away because I think religions are more similar than we realize.
I also agree.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get into it, guys.
I wanted to talk about something that Matthew said a little bit earlier about him going on a week-long, I guess, what would you call it?
Christian listen.
Oh, okay. Week-long fast from secular music. Talk a little bit more about that.
I guess. Well, not really. I guess it's more of like, I wanted God to talk to me, and I realized through self-reflection that I always have my headphones in at school, and I'm always listening to music, and the music I listen to isn't really of God. So if I want to get closer to God and I want Him to talk to me, then why not listen to Christian music?
And I think that's completely valid. I was watching this TikTok and this guy was saying that he was also always listening to music and always doing whatever and talking. So he just had to sit in himself, and he was talking to his pastor about how he wanted to talk to God and God to talk to him.
Yeah.
And so he really sat in himself and was like, think about what you need to ask for forgiveness for. And he had to be so specific and honest about everything and really sit there. And he said that God talked to him. And so I think that's beautiful that you're doing that.
And I think that's one of the things that especially living for God specifically, you have to be intentional about, and that's being honest with yourself and with God, because you can't hide anything from God.
You can't. He's already knowing.
He knows what you're
Like-
thinking about. Like he knows what's going on. Like he knows, so you can't hide from him. So the most important thing is to be honest with him, because then he can help you. If you know you're lacking in this area, be honest about God and say, "Oh, I'm struggling, God. Like, how can I improve? Where can I go right? Like, how can I get back on track?"
Yeah, because young boy isn't.
Or little baby.
This is a
Or
young.
Drake.
Oh, no,
okay.
wait.
I'm not gonna go ahead and say that Drake is the most holy person. I'm just not gonna say that. But I do think he has music that is non-secular.
I agree.
Can you name some? Like, just give me one song.
Do you think Child's Play is one?
I don't know that song.
I don't know. I have to go into the lyrics.
No,
I think there are some that aren't
no,
super
because
focused
bounce
on.
that like whoa.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind,
that's
never
a
mind,
lyric
Never
out of
mind.
that.
Never mind.
That I believe that Drake has music that is very lyrical.
Best
and it
I ever
makes sense.
had is not like bad.
It's a mix. I believe it's a mix, guys. You know, it's a balance.
I think he has some.
You
but
can
then-
find some if you look. If you
You gotta be
truthfully
careful
look.
with that though.
Okay, I have a question for both of y'all.
Okay.
And Matthew, I want you to touch on this a little. But
Okay.
how do y'all navigate in a world that's just full of sin? Because I know that we're all surrounded by that, and it can influence or kind of sway our actions and decisions and thoughts. So how do y'all navigate that?
You want to go first, Kenny?
Okay, so I think the most important thing is that God knows. There's even a verse about it. God knows that we're going to struggle with the world.
Right.
God knows that because we can't see or hear or feel God, that we can see and hear and feel things of the world, and that may be what we go to first. That may be where we go first before we go to God. He understands that. He doesn't expect us to be, you should be focused on me. And we should, but he knows that there's room for human error. So I think realizing that, not beating yourself up about it, but then picking yourself back up and being like, okay, I'm going to be
Let's do
intentional.
the right thing.
Let me put my focus on my phone and like lock in on God. Let me watch a sermon. Let me figure out how I can get back into the word. Because I think a lot of people don't get that it's never too late. You know what I mean? Like you can
Right.
go
It's
far
never
to
too
the
late.
other end and he still loves you. Like he doesn't stop loving you. So yeah, how do you handle that?
Me or Mia?
You.
Well, for me, my advice or what I do is I run from like I know that's weird, but since I'm on the basketball team, not everyone on the basketball team is a Christian. They don't really do Christian things. And, you know, the things they do, I don't agree with. And the things they say, I don't agree with. The way they look at women, I don't agree with. So what I do is like, you know, obviously I have to be there because I'm on the team.
Right.
But
Like
I
you
just-
can't run from that
exactly.
entirely.
You can't run from the team.
Yeah.
Exactly. I try my best to, you know, run from whatever they're doing. If they're trying to do this and this, I don't. Yeah. But
And
they know me too. So, like, they know.
They
I'm
respect
Christian.
that?
Yeah, they respect it.
That's good.
For the most part. One time, one of my teammates.
What happened one time?
They was talking about me being celibate. And yeah, they were just saying how I'm this tall guy and how I can have any girl I want. And I was just like, nah.
That's an insane take.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. Like that's an
honestly,
actual
it made me
insane
like
take.
kind of not lose respect, but I was just looking at him weirdly, you know?
Yeah, like why did you even?
Because he
think
knows I'm Christian, and I was
Right.
like, he was trying to explain how God forgives and stuff.
No, that's a sin,
Exactly.
guys. That's actually a sin.
Exactly.
Taking advantage of God's forgiveness is actually like, hello.
Exactly.
And I don't want to make anybody feel bad if you're doing that, but like God is not like he's not like a past that you can like oh God will, so I'm gonna go do this because God
And he
will
knows
forgive
that you're
me.
thinking that.
Don't
though.
abuse that.
Don't. Yeah. Like what?
Because think about how much different your life could be if you said, okay, God, I'm going to thank you for everything that you're doing for me instead of abusing that power. You know
and
what
also,
I mean?
I just would feel bad as a human being. Like,
I don't want to make
regardless,
anybody
like-
feel like any terrible or any shame. That's not what we're here to do. But just like revisit that
yeah, let's reevaluate
and pray for conviction too.
Please.
If there's something that like you know is not good and you still like feel like it's okay to do, or you feel like you're not feeling necessarily bad for it, pray for conviction. Pray that your heart like is convicted so that you're not so eager to do the same thing.
While we're on the topic of forgiveness,
Okay.
I want to talk about forgiving others because I know that that's a huge part of Christianity is forgiving and always going to forgive because Jesus forgives us.
Yeah.
God forgives us. We are forgiven for everything if you ask for forgiveness. But I want to talk about that because I feel like it's very hard especially if someone did something to you that is so hurtful and just like world shattering. What's the word? Like
heart-wrenching.
Right. But you still, at the end of the day, you have to forgive that person and you have to move on from that. So have y'all struggled with that? Because I feel like I've definitely struggled.
Yes, and I think it's something that I'm actually like struggling with right now. I feel like I am going through that as like a personal journey, especially this year. I want to forgive people who I have like maybe strained relationships with or something like that. Like I want to be better, because I know that if God didn't forgive me for the stuff or the way that I used to be or the things that I used to say or the way that I didn't give God the attention that I should have and I gave other things the attention, then I wouldn't be where I am today. Like I wouldn't be the type of person that I am today if God didn't give me the forgiveness that I needed. So I try to remind myself that and say, oh, I need to give them the forgiveness that God gave me.
Right. That's understandable.
About forgiveness, I forgive out of love. I know people have wronged me in my past. I try not to hold on to that, even though sometimes I do. But I try my best.
Okay. It's okay. Nobody's perfect, you know.
Yeah. I try my best to just forgive out of love and know that it's the right thing to do in the end.
Okay, I agree. I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference in living for God and believing in God, because I think that I've believed in God for pretty much my whole life. Like even when I was I don't want y'all to think that I was doing anything crazy, but like believing in like astrology and like just believing that things would like believing in the universe,
right?
Manifestation, like that's all.
I actually
stuff.
never believed in manifestation.
That's all stuff, but God is like the true person who's gonna like deliver us from and be our savior. So I think I was putting worth into that. That's what I was talking about when I said that I wasn't like living for God. But I think there's a difference in believing in who God is. Like, oh, I believe in God, but is your life reflecting that you believe in God? Are you making choices that says that you believe in God?
Or are you just saying that? Is it just a label, or are you living the lifestyle?
Because I think like a lot of people would be like, oh, I believe in God, put a Christian emoji in their bio, say like
God first
verse.
You know how many guys have
it.
God first in their bio?
And they are so far from like
exactly.
So not even so far, because I don't want to make a stereotype. You have to do this, you have to do that. But they're just so far from living for God. Like I know that if you had God in your heart, like you wouldn't make the decisions or say the things that you say. Like it's just not
that God
true.
First is not. It's not counteracting anything.
Are there girls who like have God stuff in their bios and then like
they wear that little like
are completely
cross
different?
necklace? That cross necklace.
Yes, there are.
It's just no, guys. Like
it's like a scam.
They tried to get. Have people done that?
Yes.
Like actually?
Because I tell them that I'm a Christian, so they've been like, yeah, I believe in God too. From that answer, like when I first tell them that I'm a Christian, from what they answer first, I know if they're Christian or not, because they'll be like, yeah, me too, I believe in God. Or like some of their, but not some, I don't talk to a lot of girls, but the ones who really are Christian, they'll be like, they'll get excited and want to talk about it more. I'll be like, yeah, but there's definitely girls who have cross necklaces that throw the cross necklace away when it's time to have fun and stuff.
Right. That's
throw it away. That's a good like
they
like metaphor.
Cross off.
They take that away. They
just,
put that in a closet.
Right. It's just a facade.
Yeah. It's a what?
Illusion. We have like a little thing where we always
I love
like,
that we have that as like a joke here on the podcast.
It's like
now.
what's it called? A callback?
Yeah.
Okay. Saying the living for God and believing in God.
Yeah.
That difference. I feel like when I was younger, I was definitely the one, and you know what? Someone else can relate to this. Maybe not them, but I don't feel like.
Yeah, she said this to us and we weren't really like.
Y'all weren't rocking with it, but somebody else was like this too, and I know that they were. When you got woken up Sunday morning early. You had to put on your church clothes and you had to go sit in like the adult service. Cause I would sit in the adult service. I remember being in like the kids thing, but it wasn't that often. I don't think. I don't know. I don't remember. But I just remember being so bored and I didn't really like understand. Like I feel like I was so young and I didn't like. I was like, I just want to go home. I just want to play games. I just want to do whatever. And I felt like, yes, I was a Christian and I would say grace before I ate and I was this whatever, but it wasn't like my own. Like it wasn't
your own relation. Like you didn't have a relationship.
Exactly. It was like through my parents and through church and through this whatever. But now I feel like my relationship with God is 110% a choice. And it was something that I chose to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just evolved. Like, has y'all's relationship with God evolved? Like,
definitely.
Like over the years, how has it changed?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. What's it called? Freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we were online?
Yeah.
That's when I like really decided to give my life to God. I wasn't doing nothing crazy in middle school. Don't get those accusations.
But you weren't.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't living for God. And then we were online every day. Like my mom, during COVID, I guess she decided that. Well, she decided that we're gonna like read the Bible together every night. So then, the more and more we did it, I was just like, let me really live for God and live this world. And back then I was young, so I thought it was gonna be giving your life to God and living this perfect life. You're always happy. Everything you want is gonna come to you because God's gonna give it to you. But boy, I was wrong. Oh goodness, I was wrong.
Yeah, it's not like how it works at all. It's not a transaction. You don't pray one time and then get the world at all. It's like, it's way deeper than that. What about you?
I think that my experience, I think I was like awoken. Like God was like, wake up, because I think it was the summer after COVID and I was depressed, honestly. And I feel like God, I didn't have anything else. And I was like, God, like, I don't know what to do. And then he was like, that's when I really started like living for him, because I felt like he was the only thing. Like there was literally nothing else. And I was like, God, like, I don't know what to do. Like at this point, like, I don't know how to get out of this. I don't know how to get back to where I was. And he was the one who came in and took that burden from my life and took that burden from my mind and my heart. And that's when I fully like started to really like, I don't want to say the fire for Jesus, because that's so like, but like, that's when God, like, I really like God moved into my heart, and that's where I've been since then, like living for God and actually like, because there's not like, if God's saving you, doesn't do it, then like what else will, you know what I mean?
Right. And I also feel like I need to say this because a lot of people, their stories is about how God came into their life and it was this, that, and the third. But you also have to let him.
Yeah.
Like that is something that I want to emphasize. You have to let God in your life and you have to choose that. Like it's not just gonna be, oh, you're down and you're like, help, like that's not how it works. Like Kennedy, you had to put in work to allow him to help you out of that situation. You had to choose that path.
Because at that point I was like, there's nothing else. I was like, I have to, like, I'm going back to this because I don't know anything else. And God did that. Like God put me in that position to be like, I'm going to strip her of everything that she's relying on, everything that she thinks is going to fulfill her, and give her me. I'm going to give her me, because I'm the only one who can really fulfill her. And that's what he taught me for the first, like, that was what started my real relationship with God. Because before that I had been a Christian, but I wasn't really like,
that's so good.
I didn't have a relationship with him, which is why I wanted to say that Christians struggle too. It's not, oh, I believe in God, now all of my problems are gone.
At
I'm
all.
this perfect person, and that's not true. And I think we're doing a disservice to people, non-Christians and younger Christians, that think that. Because if you think that you're perfect, then, oh, I can't be a Christian because they're perfect. And if I mess up, then I'm, that's not
exactly. Every Christian sins. Like
every Christian sins. We are born in sin. Like we are literally born in sin. It's our nature to do this because of what Eve did.
Don't blame her. Don't blame
A
let's not
woman.
What did you
We don't have to get
say?
a woman. A woman what? A woman.
Think about it. She started all the problems.
I mean,
Think about it.
he
Okay,
didn't.
he's not wrong. He's not.
Did he
wrong.
lie though?
No.
But we're not gonna.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you're right.
What does her gender have to do
Yeah,
with
the
it,
way
huh?
you said that was a little bit.
The way I said it.
Okay, but I wanted to say Christians struggle too, and you don't have to fight alone. Like everything that you're going through, not even if it's like a mental health struggle, but if you're sick, if somebody in your family is ill, if you have something going on in your life that you're trying to work through, you don't have to do that alone.
You really don't.
'Cause he's here, always. Like he is the only person that you can truly depend on, even if you have a great relationship with your parents. Like this is unconditional love.
At the end of the day, like who's
Yeah.
through the good, the bad,
Sorry, my bad.
the ugly, the worst, exactly. Okay, but that right there just like reminds me like my story, my story.
Let's get into your story.
Let's get into Mia's story, okay? So
Everybody talk about Mia.
focus on me. Look at me, okay? Listen to me only.
Yeah. If you hear me or Matthew's voice, just disregard it.
Go ahead and tune that out for me. So he's like looking at me intensely. Okay, yeah. So I would say I don't actually know when this was. Like this was like 2021 question mark. I don't know, but I was like locking in. Like I was like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna be locked in on God, you know? And we're gonna lock in on my relationship with him and everything. And so that's just kind of what it was. And so all this stuff started happening to me. Like I kid you not, it was like the worst time period of my life. Like not even being dramatic. Like it was pretty bad. Like pretty bad. So it was like I felt like I was losing everything. I couldn't play the sport that I loved anymore. It was a lot of like
So he stripped you of everything.
yeah,
that
it
you
was
were-
physical
that you
health
were
problems,
valuing.
my relationships with people gone. It was just like I literally was like it was there was nothing. Let's just get that. I think I emphasized it enough, okay? And I was so mad. Like when I kid you not, it was everything and I was like, "You know what? It's okay. I'm still praying. I'm still this whatever." And then when the physical health just started, I was like, no, like you're done, and I was so upset. I was like, why? Like that, why me, God? That was me. I'm not gonna lie, that was me. And I was like, you know what? You got it. You have it entirely, and I'm not speaking to you because you have it. And it's not my proudest moment, no, but it's understandable.
It's real.
It's real. I was very upset, and
Because God is your friend. Like, and when do you get mad at your friend? Yes. Do you get mad? Are you sad with your friend? Like all the emotions, it's okay to be it's normal. It's normal to be mad.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's understandable. Was it okay? No. I think it was indirect. What is it? Indirected anger? Wrong directed anger? You know what I'm trying to say. It was like my anger was directed. Misplaced anger, what she said. So after that, I kind of came, after a minute, I like came to, and I was like, you know what? It's not God. This is not God, you know? And this is happening for a reason. And I need to just focus on that. Focus on why these things are being taken away from me. Focus on what can I do? Because all this stuff is out of my right. All this stuff is out of my control. And I need to really focus on the things that I can control. And I need to work back in this relationship and do this and do that. And so I just kind of rebuilt it from the ground up. And I feel like ever since then, it's just been like, it's been better. I'd give it that. Like you have to put that work in. Like I was just saying about Kennedy, you have to put that work in.
You gotta choose to do it
and let God take you out of that situation.
Yeah.
And that's my
snaps for me.
That's my like my most recent like
fun fact. I can't snap. So whenever I say
Kennedy's
snaps,
not able-bodied at all.
Stop. So, because whenever I say snaps, I'm doing like fake snaps.
Like no wait, everybody
This
be
is
quiet.
not
Be
real.
quiet and put it up to the mic so you can hear it. Do you hear that weak
Okay,
snap?
do your snaps.
No, my snaps are good. Listen, these are mine.
That's not good. That's not
That's
good.
not good.
No, you can hear your nails like.
Okay, whatever.
What about Kennedy's story?
She told
I
hers.
talked about it.
Oh yeah.
Do you want
to elaborate?
Do you want me to talk about it more?
Yeah.
About what? I did.
She
though.
told her story.
Okay, what do you
Oh,
want me to
Matt.
say? I'll say before I committed my life to God, or let me go to after. After that happened, I that like ignited whatever, not whatever.
The
That
fire of Jesus.
stop. I don't want to say that. The fire in God lives in me.
It lives in her, guys. It's raining.
I don't want to say that, but like that's when I like God kind of woke me up. But I think that I didn't start living like, not that I made choices that didn't reflect that, because I was, I was Christian at that point. Like I still believed in him. But I'm saying like I didn't consult God on decisions. Like I thought, you think like, oh, I can figure this out. Like, no, include God in your life. Like, make him your guiding principle. Make him your sounding board. And I don't think that I did that. So I think at a certain point in 2022, I began living for him. Like, I actually began to live for like who he was, lock in on the Bible, because it's hard. Honestly, I'm going to be so honest. It's hard for me to read my Bible. I will pray 6 times a day. But like the act of opening my Bible is a little bit difficult for me. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's real.
That's why on my phone I like it a little bit more.
I love the Bible app. I feel
like-
like some people don't like it.
it's
I
really
like
good.
it. Do you like
It's
the Bible
really
app,
good.
Matthew?
I love it.
That's a good app.
I do like to do little designs in my Bible, and so yeah.
The little
But I
doodling.
also BibleRef.com. Like I use that sometimes when I'm reading my Bible, because it'll break things down. Sometimes I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand things that they're saying, but then they'll
Valid.
kind of like
Valid.
break it down, and then I get it.
You know what? Y'all need to, Matthew, tell them about that website that you sent me. Like, what was it? It was like why something.
Gotquestions.org.
Gotquestions.org. It is so good.
It's like whenever you have a question, the website has most of the answers. It's like biblical answers. So it's a yeah, like
It's
it's
so
a question.
good.
If you have a question about like sex before marriage, like it talks about that and why God wants it. It talks about how like God wants pure love, and like you're not finding that from just going person to person having sex with that, and and how sex is like divine, and like it's a good website.
It's a great website, quite honestly. That just makes me like appreciate Christian friends.
Yes.
And, like being able, like when he sent me that, I was like, no, like I love my Christian friendships, because
You could just say you love Matthew.
Okay. Me and Matthew have a note that's like Sundays, and then we like say like what is it? Verses, or like just stuff that like we've learned. And I think having Christian friends, having a community of people who believe in the same thing you believe in, there's nothing like it. That's why church is so important, because you have people who are like-minded, who are going through the same thing. I did want to get into how Jesus died for people who never spoke his name, and I've been on this because it just so blows my mind how Jesus died for those who he would never know, who forsake his name, who speak
who will never know
negatively on him,
Yeah.
who curse him out. Like, he died for those people, not only the people who would believe in him, but specifically for the people
Who don't.
The people who will never utter his name. He decided to die, to lay down his life. And not only lay down his life, but like be tortured on the cross.
Right.
I think there's a very watered down version of what happened to Jesus.
100%.
But it was brutal.
Real. Exactly.
It was brutal. It was real, and it was brutal. And
y'all
he
would not
died
do that. Y'all would not do that for the bunch of people that you don't know.
for people who would hate you.
Right.
For people who would get on a public platform and say that they don't believe in you, say that it's made up, say he died for those people. And I think that's mind-boggling to think about.
When a lot of people say those things like, oh, that's not real, like God's not real, whatever, like what would you, they're like, you're just wasting your life supporting a religion that's not real. And you know what I say? Okay, then so be it. Like,
Yeah.
really, if I've devoted my life to this religion and it's not real, and we all like it's some
Okay, then at least I did it.
exact like
Because when you get up to heaven and he says, "Depart from me, from I never knew you,"
then
that's gonna hit different for y'all. I'm not even like it just is. Because when y'all walk
that's
up
gonna be
being
tough.
all
It's gonna be
cocky and
tough.
confident, saying, "Oh, this and this and that," and he says, "Depart from me, for I never knew you," and you have to walk away and go down to the depths of hell. Like, are you guys? I don't think people realize.
Living for God.
Yeah.
Right, that
Knowing God and not living for him.
Because you can know God and think that you know God, and he'd be like, "I never knew you, child. Like we never spoke. We
Right.
never had a relationship."
and it's just
And it's
insane.
that is an incredibly humbling experience. It has to be very humbling.
Yeah.
Very humbling.
Yeah. Can we talk about the types of Christians, please?
Yes.
I feel like this is like kind of lighter, but some of these, I don't,
We were talking
can't
about this
claim that.
earlier.
I just can't claim it, guys, because I feel like Christians, we might have a bit of a bad rep.
Yes. So this is, be a Christian. Like, if you praise God, if you live for God, like, great. Like, I'm not gonna knock you on how you dress. But there is a version of a Christian that I think a lot of people think is that, and I think that we need multiple versions of those people. Like, we need a Matthew, and we need a Kennedy, and we need a Mia, and we need a Joseph, and we need a blank.
Emily.
Yeah.
We need all of y'all.
Yes.
It's necessary.
We need an Ollie. We need all these different kinds of people come together, because not everybody is going to ascertain to that Emily kind of
vocab
person.
word.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Kennedy just uses such good vocab, guys.
Thank you. I read.
But
That's what it really comes down to.
I definitely want to talk about those people that kind of use Christianity for like negative. And I'm not the only person that thinks this. Like, I can't be. There's like people
we
that
talked about this earlier.
when I tell them that I'm a Christian, they're like, ugh, you know? And it's like, guys, wait. I'm not that homophobic Christian. Like, I'm not that
They just
Christian.
have an idea in their head of what a Christian is. But I think you honestly do yourself a disservice when you're so close-minded.
Yeah.
Because they can really change your mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's even people who I've talked to and they're like, "Oh, wow, like, I've never met a Christian like you before." And it's not because I said something crazy. I just said something that was based off of the word that I learned. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
it's
not
like,
something that was judgmental and mean. You know what I mean?
and that's the thing, because they've only met or had experiences and negative experiences with judgmental Christians and like people that do these things that are just hurtful, you know? And we are people that are not like judgmental. Like, we're non-judgmental Christians, and I think that being a representative of that type of Christian is like it feels great to kind of like change people's minds, because when they tell me that they don't believe, I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, like I could expose you to God, but am I going to force this upon you? Absolutely not. If you don't believe, then okay. Like, I can try, but I'm not going to be like, "Oh, you're sentenced to hell. You're this, that, and the third." No.
I want everybody to know God, but I'm not going to shove it down your throat.
Absolutely.
Because
not
I
gonna
don't
shove it down
want
your
you
throat.
to ever be turned off from God because of somebody else's experience. Like, I would hate for that to
Exactly.
happen.
I hate how that happens to people, honestly.
It means a lot if someone reaches out to you and is like, "I want to know more about God," or "How did you get closer to God?" But I'm not gonna force somebody to do that, because everybody's also on their own path. So if I don't expose you to it, maybe somebody else will, you know? So how, Matthew, has someone like non-Christian reached out to you, and then how did you respond to that?
My friend, we were on the basketball team, and he asked me, like, he DM'd me on Instagram. He asked me, he was just like, it was more of, I think he just asked me how am I, like, always happy and stuff. And I guess he thought it was because of God. So I think he thought that being Christian would lead to, you know, a good, happy, stress-free life. And I had to explain to him that it doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
That it's going to come with trials and tribulations. God's going to test you to see if, you know, you really want to be a Christian, if you really love God. And I told him that. He was like, yeah, I want to be Christian. He was like, I want to get closer to God. So then I told him, you know, start with the Bible, because those are words from God himself. And then if he has any questions, to ask me. It was good for like a couple days, but it really only lasted like a week. I hope he's doing good though.
That's okay. I think being like giving someone that resource is like good in of itself, like good on you.
Yeah.
Honestly, applaud.
Yeah. Snaps?
I was literally gonna say Kennedy's terrible snaps.
Stop. That's not very nice. That's not very nice.
It's okay.
I did want to talk about something that I told Mia, and she. Oh no, we talked about this on the last episode, but I want to go in depth a little bit more
What
about
is
it.
it?
No, the last episode.
The last episode.
Valentine's Day episode. And so it's that things from the world are good. That's the point. That's the point.
Yeah.
Like the devil's doing this on purpose. Like
he's like, oh,
the
come
devil's
over here.
not
Come,
dumb.
Come.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean it's good though?
Hold on. The devil may wrap up a person and say, here you go. This is from God. And not everything from the devil looks like a bad thing. So if the devil is wrapping up this gift and saying, oh, here, this is from God. And you're like, wow, thank you. This is from God, air quotes. And then you wrap it up and it ends up being a bad thing because it's from the devil.
Exactly. Like in the end, I think a great example of this is maybe like a relationship. This person comes into your life and you think that they're great. They're
like, this is a godly relationship.
It's
God sent this
perfect.
person to me. Like,
and it's
wow.
just pulling you away from God.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Clarify that, I don't think you're wrong, Katie, but I don't think the devil's gonna give you something and say this is from God. He's gonna give it to you, and it's your judgment whether you think this is from God or this is not.
I think where I'm going with that is like the God will lie. The God will lie and be like, oh, this is something that it's not. You know what I mean? And be like, oh, this is something that is good. That's what I'm saying is it's good. Sometimes like these temptations that we have, they feel good. They are good. They look good. Like that's the point. The devil will not only always give you something bad in your life. He can put something that looks appealing, something that is good for a short amount of time into your life and you're like, oh wow.
It's like a long-term investment.
Right.
of
right.
like negative.
Of like bad stuff.
I get what you mean.
So like because of that, and Mia was like, oh, I don't know if I like that. Pray for discernment because yes, pray for discernment. Let him tell you this is for me, or maybe this is a really good thing, but this may not be on your path, and this is not your opportunity, and this is not the godly person that I gave you to serve the kingdom. Like pray and ask God if that's the person for you, because sometimes we can make those decisions, or the devil may be making those decisions, and God has literally no part in that
at all. And I think I said this on the Valentine's episode as well, that I feel like discernment is it's something that I've been praying for, and I'm trying to like incorporate in my life, because it's something I struggled with, especially with people that I was having a hard time. I'm not gonna say unable to, because I don't like saying that I can't do this or I can't do that, whatever, but I was having a difficult time kind of like figuring out if this person was
God
good.
is speaking to you.
Exactly. If the person was good for my life or it was bad for my life, or if it was this or that. And it's still something I struggle with to this day.
And I just want to say that, like, now that we are all Christians and living for God, that doesn't mean at all that we are above or past any of the things that we've been through, like, or any of the way that we felt in the past. That's not to say that we can fall into the same patterns. Like, I pray that we don't. I pray that we have the resources that keep us strong, but we do falter. Like, Christians struggle too. Like, we still go through the same stuff.
100%.
Now that we're saved, now that we know God, now that we talk to God, now that we have a relationship with him, that doesn't mean that all this stuff goes away.
It doesn't.
And it's going to be a constant struggle till we get to heaven of choosing God. Like, it's a conscious choice to choose God in a sinful world.
It is. Like, honestly is. I wanted to ask both of y'all, what is your favorite verse and why? What meaning does that have for you?
I need some time. So.
All right. My favorite Bible verse is Proverbs 14:23, and it says, "In all labor there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty." And to me, that means, basically hard work pays off, but it's really like in all aspects of your life, Like if you can't just talk about, oh, I wanna, build my dream body and just talk about it, pray about it. You gotta,
You gotta
work
for it.
Exactly.
Be in the gym.
Eat PB&Js, stuff like that.
Matthew's been telling has been telling me that
Exactly.
since what 2020, bruh. Get
Right.
out.
Eat PB&Js.
Eat PB&J. He's like, that's the way.
Cause Mia talks about how she wants to like just gain some weight.
Bulk. I hate peanut butter. That's the thing.
Peanut butter has good protein.
Give me something else. I hate peanut butter, please. If anybody has any other recommendations, I'll take it. But I'm not eating peanut butter.
Just do protein.
Girl, check, didn't work. Next. Okay. So my favorite verse, I would probably go with Corinthians 13. My mom used to tell me this, and I feel like when she told me this when I was younger, I was just like, I don't know, it just like didn't hit. But when I revisited it, it's the love is patient, love is kind.
Mm-hmm.
It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not you get it. It's the whole thing. I like give me the whole thing, because I feel like it means something to me just because discernment, guys. That's just what it is. I think that this is a good thing to come back on. Let love never fails. So if it's failed, then that's not what it is. And it's great.
So I have a couple. Isaiah 26:3. You will keep him in your perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for in Yah the Lord is everlasting strength. And I think that is really powerful.
It's a good one.
What does it mean to you, Kennedy? Why do you like it?
Okay, because you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. I think that's a reminder to put your peace in him. Put your peace in him, because he's everlasting strength. He's never gonna run out. You can always rely on him. You can always give him your burdens, and he's always gonna be there for you. And I think that's a reminder of that. Another one, Psalms 34:4. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. Another thing, shame is never from Jesus. Shame is always from the devil. And someone said that a long time ago, and I agree, because the devil will make you feel shame, and then that shame will cause you to not want to talk to God anymore because you're shameful, and that's not what God.
But he already knows. That's not
shame and being humble.
Yes, I agree.
What do you with shame and being
but
humble?
elaborate on that.
Yeah, what do you mean?
She said that you shame, you feel like you let God down, and if you're humble, you'll be like, okay. You'll bow down to God and be like, yeah, I've let you down, but, let's turn it around now. How can I, do better?
How can we do better in the second
Exactly.
half?
Not just completely just think that God's mad at you forever. Yeah.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have shame going and saying that and being like, what's the word? I don't even know what the word is, but not doing pride and your ego.
Okay, this is
okay.
One more. I'm going to stop. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And I personally think that the enemy, sometimes I'll move past stuff, I'll work through it, and the devil will be like, okay, what else can we think about, guys? What else can we give her that she'll struggle with? And I think fear is one of those. And so this verse came to me at a point in time where I was going through that. And I think, especially when you find things in the Bible that are so connected to what you're going through, it means a lot.
So, yeah.
And it's God said this. God said this. And I like that. Okay, go ahead.
My one more is James 1:2-3. And it reads, My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience.
I have another one too. Wait, but touch on it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think everyone can relate to this one because everyone goes through trials and tribulations. So it's, it's saying that count it all joy when you fall into various trials because God is testing you. That's good.
Okay, valid. Okay, here's mine. I think it's Psalms 91. I don't know exactly what it is. Don't quote me, guys. But it's saying, if you say the Lord is my refuge, you make the most high your dwelling.
Mhm.
And it's saying no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. And I feel like this is like, it gives you, what's the word? Comfort. Like, I feel like this gave me like comfort.
Peace.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're protected, you're guarded.
Yeah.
And the things that you're going through, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. At the end of the day, like, you're, what's the word? Protect. Exactly. God got you.
Secure.
I
Good
literally
job.
say this like when I'm scared. I'm
I
like,
love
God got
Christian
me. God
people.
got me. Like I keep doing that.
Yeah.
Like God got me.
Like no matter what, God has you.
God got me. God got me. Like that's just what I tell myself. And
Okay.
it makes me like feel better.
Matthew 8:26. He replied, "You of little faith, why are you so afraid?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. Those tides, the laps,
Rebuke.
the wind, the strong wind, he made it completely calm. Like, God, I think even reading your Bible and, like, hearing some of the stuff that God did, like, healing the woman who bled for, like, 6 or 7 years, I think 6 years, and she was completely healed. And his disciples around him told him not to told the crowd not to touch him, and she fought what the world was telling her and touched him, and she was healed. Like, hearing that stuff, like, that's why you should fear God. Honestly, that's why you should fear God, because if God can do stuff like that, then what can he do in your life if you're not listening?
Right?
People who don't
should
fear
be.
God, they like, y'all are crazy.
You're better than me, you know.
Because he should be feared. He should be feared.
110%.
The creator of the earth. Also, the creator of the earth decided that you needed a place on this earth. They said, okay, we need a Matthew in this world. Okay, we need a Mia in this world. We need these people in this world, and I'm going to put them here because they serve a purpose. And they think that for you too. So even if you're non-Christian, like, that's just what I believe. I believe that he found worth in you, and he finds worth in you, and he decided that you made the cut for the world.
You made the cut. Like, love
He
every
loves
part of
you.
yourself because he made that.
Yeah.
You're his child, and he
He
created
chose
you.
that. He said that needs to be a
What he said? Say it again.
I said that you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
'Cause you are. You are. Okay. That was good.
Matthew,
I like that.
this is a question that we ask our guests.
Yes, on the podcast. Well, this is the first guest that y'all are
Well,
gonna
this is
listen
okay.
to.
I guess this is our first
Yeah.
guest for real.
I
Okay.
hope y'all are enjoying
Feel
this.
honored.
To be on the podcast.
What is it? It's if you could only eat one meal.
Yeah, or if you had a death row meal.
Yeah, like a
and,
death
you,
row
you-
meal.
Like, that's the only thing. That's the last thing that
Like,
you can
what
eat.
would it be?
What would it be?
A big container. I'm talking huge. Like
how big?
like 2 gallons.
2 gallons.
So that I can eat it. It's my last meal ever.
Of what?
Of what?
Okay, I'm about to say it. Homemade rice.
Okay.
Um,
like what
mm,
kind of rice?
white
Like
rice.
White rice? Okay.
I don't like brown rice.
What?
Yeah. Shout out Panda Express. Homemade.
No.
What?
There's
You
so
guys
many better restaurants than Panda Express. Are you joking?
Panda Express is still
He
good,
dry
guys.
said.
Don't
Okay,
worry.
keep going.
Anyway, homemade white rice from my mom with meatballs and cabbage and green peas and carrots with a bottle of water. Actually, I'll probably need a couple bottles of water.
Yeah, like if you have 2 gallons.
last thing you're gonna drink?
Yeah.
You literally, how long have you only been drinking water? Like, I feel like you literally are like, oh, I don't drink that. I'm an athlete.
Matthew is like an
You're one of them.
exclusive water drinker, and I struggle with water. Like,
no, I'm not gonna lie.
drinking-
Water is good.
'cause
Ice water is good.
I forget to drink water. But if that was my last thing on earth, all the beverages on earth and you choose water.
I think I'm not gonna lie. I would probably choose ice water too, like some fresh ice water, like that would hit.
I would choose we
he's
haven't
asking us-
talked about that.
Wow,
Oh, I haven't thought about that.
Reversed. What's my last meal? Ooh, I actually don't know.
You want to go first?
I think I would just take so long to choose it that I just wouldn't die.
Oh yeah, me would be like, I don't know if I want this.
Oh,
I
rats.
don't
Can
know
you
if I want
choose?
this.
Can you pick?
Can the warden of the jail choose for me? Can the security guard choose for me?
All of
I
my
need
friends
you to choose
know
for
how
me.
indecisive I am. It's actually bad. Like I will never pick.
I would eat some Italian.
Oh my gosh, that
Some
would
Italian food
Just melt just for
because it's good.
Since y'all are taking me though, y'all are paying, right? Alright, bet.
So the podcast is actually over now.
Yeah.
Um,
So thank you guys for listening. We're on. I'm just kidding. Okay. So some good Italian food, a couple of beverages.
A couple?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, can I
let's
have
go
multiple?
no bev.
I mean, you can, but who's drinking a Dr. Pepper?
Okay, I want a Dr. Pepper. Okay, I want a small cup of Dr. Pepper, a small cup of lemonade, and a small Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple effect. Never get over that.
Yeah. And maybe no, I was gonna say chai, but chai doesn't mix with Italian food, so I'm not gonna say that. But I love my chai.
I've literally never had it, but everyone's like,
You did have chai, and you drink it too.
"Oh, it's bad
Oh,
then."
that
If
thing?
I've had
Yeah,
it, then it's
that I had
bad.
from Starbucks. Yeah.
Balls, no.
Yes, you did. You liked it.
that cleanser drink?
No, it wasn't cleanser drink.
Oh.
She's thinking about kombucha.
Oh.
Kombucha is cheese.
Stop!
Oh my.
Stop! I love kombucha.
It tastes really bad.
But do you remember
right?
the drink I got from
Kennedy?
Starbucks?
Yeah, the
And you
Starbucks
like?
drink was good. The
Thank
Starbucks
you. That
no,
was chai.
Kennedy is actually insane.
Kombucha
Like
is,
He said Kenbucha.
what's it called? What's it called?
He said
What's
Kenbucha.
it called?
Kombucha.
Kombucha.
K-O-M.
It's like torture.
You didn't even drink it.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. I didn't
yeah,
let you.
I smelled it.
And
Oh.
you didn't. He
no,
didn't
I
like
had
it.
it. I literally it tastes like.
I like kombucha. I actually think I have
Carbonated-
kombucha in there right now.
Do you actually get that out of my house?
I think I have it right now.
That's disgusting.
I like
Okay, what's my
kombucha.
meal?
I don't know.
No,
I feel like you would like a box combo.
Please shut up.
Okay,
no,
but, like,
I
what else-
wouldn't.
I
I
don't-
don't get a box combo.
I don't even know what I'm
No
I'm your
coleslaw, extra
best friend,
fries.
and I don't even know what
No.
your favorite food is.
I love because I like everything, to be honest.
Yeah, like,
Like,
you don't have a
You
specific
know what?
thing.
Here's gonna be my death row meal. I would bust down on some street tacos.
Okay.
Ooh, some street
Some
tacos.
Thai food, bro.
and then I would have
Thai food. Oh,
shrimp Alfredo. Oh my gosh, and like the breadsticks and everything too. And then to the left of that, I would have fried rice and like some Mongolian beef, like
from P.F. Chang's.
from PF. That hits. That would
Their
be.
lemonade is good.
That's what would be.
Remember,
my meal.
okay, Hoko, we got multiple lemonades and they charged us for every single one. And like she was like, "Oh, do you need another one?" And I was like, "Yeah," but
They
like
will
we didn't
scam you
think that
without
like
no.
bro,
We're just so off topic, guys. We really just chat sometimes. Okay,
but
but
I like that though.
I do. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Matthew, for being on the podcast.
Honestly,
Thank you for having me. It was good. It was a good experience. I want to come again. Can
You
y'all
would-
do another? Like, can a guest come twice?
Yes, we're actually.
if you want Matthew, comment down below.
yeah.
If you
Comment down below. Mia keeps saying comment down below, but there's literally nowhere
it's
to comment.
so on our Instagram.
Okay.
Comment on our Instagram.
All right. So
Silver
thank you
Lining.
guys for listening. We have our Instagram, the Silver Lining at MNK with MNK at MNK. Let me
The
fix
silver
my
lining
outro.
with MK.
Thank you guys for listening. Let's do that all over again. Thank
Okay,
you guys for
Yeah,
listening.
that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
You guys can just cut that out, right?
But we're not going to.
We're not
They-
going. We're real.
we're
We
real.
are real.
We're
go,
real.
Go ahead. Say the
Okay.
outro.
Thank you guys for listening to the Silver Lining with MNK. Thank you, Matthew, for being on. We have our Instagram at the Silver Lining with MNK, our TikTok at the Silver Lining with MNK. It's not up right now, but that's okay. On our Instagram, we have a link tree that links all of our important links, so you can go there. Rate and review our podcast, but only rate 5 stars.
If it's not 5 stars,
Then don't do it.
don't do it. Quite honestly,
Y'all say that every episode.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Don't.
But don't. Like,
but
it's the
literally
truth, though.
don't. Like
Like, if you're gonna rate it anything less than 5 stars, then
4.5,
what are you doing? Like, just don't even rate it
Yeah,
at
like,
all.
don't even touch it. Like, why'd you even go down there?
Yeah.
Like you dry did that.
Yeah, you dry did
dry
that.
rated it 4 stars when we told you not to.
We literally
If
told
you
you
have
not to.
nothing nice to say
Don't say nothing
at all. If
I
you
don't,
can't rate
I don't
5
give
stars,
consent.
then I don't want you to.
I don't give consent to that. So you can't rate my podcast unless it's 5
Also
stars.
review it. We're on over 25 places to listen to the podcast, so
There's no excuse.
there's no excuse.
There really isn't.
If you're saying you didn't listen, why not? There's
Why?
literally no excuse. So yeah,
Thank you guys so much.
I
And
love how aggressive our outro.
I love it too. We're so like nice. Like, hey guys, thank you for listening. Rate the
Our
podcast.
opening is
or
like
go
super
away.
sweet,
I know.
and then our
It's
outro
just
is so
unhinged
mean.
at the end.
So
Okay,
yeah.
no, for real. Thank you guys, and I hope y'all had a nice time with us
Yeah.
and just kind of chatting with us.
Let us know if you want Matt back on the podcast, because we will.
Matthew does not like being called Matt. Like, he does
But
not.
you said
like
you
that.
didn't care. You say that every time. Okay,
Bye.
let us know if you want Matthew back on the podcast. Thank
If
you guys
not-
for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.